So we came to the discussion of perseverance and sabr. And then after that, we come to the discussion of shukr, gratitude and thankfulness. Now, we need to contrast both of these in terms of the whole process of wayfaring. In wayfaring, we are supposed to leave ourselves behind and instead embrace the self of God. The embracing of the self of God is by us being pleased with God and trusting God's discretion and knowing that whatever happens to us is in our best interest because God is not a miser. He is not unkind. He is not immoral. He is virtuous. He does not lack. He does not need to demonstrate his ego to us because there is nothing but He. So we trust in God. And we say, well, reaching out to God, therefore, means to surrender to God, a wholesome surrender. Having said that, being human and within our humanness and human capacity, it is not easy to wholesomely surrender. We will always be giving ourselves over hesitatingly, with hesitation, with resistance, and sometimes begrudgingly. That is the state of perseverance. Perseverance is when something is difficult, but we resist falling for the natural tendency of despair, of complaint, of saying to God, remove this and why this? So perseverance and patience always is accompanied by a state of inner resistance. And sometimes it's done with a heavy heart. However, when practiced enough, what it does is it makes us more wholesome, makes us bigger than the situation. So when somebody says something ill about us, and if that ruins our mood, then that means that we still have arrogance. And that arrogance was prodded by that comment that hurt me so much. And the fact that I have to bear it shows it's a struggle for me and not to retort. The fact that it deprives me of my peace of mind shows that it is hurting me and I need to bear. But it also shows that I am a weak person who can be brought to his knees through a very sentence, a particular word. But if we can bear it, then we become bigger. There is expansion within the chest. After that, abuses may come, but we will not fall. Similarly, is the case with sickness, poverty, breaking of the heart, losing a loved one, love not being reciprocated. All of these things, they hurt us because there is that arrogance within us, and the arrogance is because of that identity I am. So perseverance is passivity, to become passive and to pacify the self until that arrogance begins to wear off. And through perseverance, our inner capacity is expanded. This is passivity. Once this state is completed, we come to the state of thankfulness. At this point here, we not only thank God for all the beautiful things that He has given us and done for us. No, we in essence are in a state of thankfulness for our existence. That state of thanking God for life, for well being, for functioning organs and limbs, for having sustenance, having health, we quickly pass beyond that state and we come to the essence of gratitude, and that is, oh Allah, you have given me existence and an opportunity to get to come to you for you are my calling, and you are everything I have desired. In a state of gratitude, what we are saying actually is that, oh Lord, I sought an opportunity from you of life, and you gave me that opportunity. Now, in this life, the opportunity was not for me to earn and to live a comfortable life, nor for me to gain knowledge and become a master of one of your disciplines and sciences. No, the opportunity in its entirety was for me to travel to you, for me to get the greatest treasure, treasure unending. When this becomes the attitude, then at that point, sickness is not something that we persevere. It is something that we thank Allah for, because we say, oh Lord, through this sickness, you are teaching me that vital lessons and giving me that vital experience that I sought from you that could not be derived through health. That is the place of gratitude. So, as opposed to perseverance, where we do it with a bit of hesitancy, in shukr, it's proactivity in increasing the inner capacity. So, in sickness, we learn the worth of coming over the state of well being and sickness, that we absolve ourselves of these worldly dynamics. When we find somebody in our lives that is very difficult to deal with, as opposed to a state of despair and begrudging patience, we say, oh Allah, thank you. You have given me an opportunity to face somebody difficult. You have sent that person as a test for me to grow from within. I am no longer heavy heartedly surrendering to your command. I'm actually thanking you, thank you, that I have to learn something from this. Not only within myself do I grow, but I need to find a way to help that other person to grow gently. And for this opportunity, O Lord, to grow within and to allow somebody else to grow, I thank you for that, O God. So the gratitude becomes a perpetual state. There is no thanksgiving and gratefulness and gratitude is not only for a comfortable state. Oh Allah, I thank you for the health that you have given me, for the well being, for the wealth, for the love, for the friendship. No, gratitude becomes a permanent feature that, oh Lord, the sickness is as good as health, poverty is as good as wealth, hatred of others is as good as love of others, breaking of the heart is as wonderful as the flight the heart takes in the love of another. All of these states, O Lord, are from you as an opportunity for me to recognize you and to bring about that inner capacity where I lose myself and instead you shine through. And that is why it is said that the close ones of Allah, they actually rejoice in those instances where the very pious despair. That is why you see that Hussein Salamullah was persevering, but you do not see him persevering begrudgingly. He was surrendered to God. But towards the end of his journey, you see a very different soul take birth within Hussein Salamullah, where he is now thankful to God. And he does not see this tribulation as something that he has to persevere, but he sees that tribulation as a gift from God, and for that he thanks God. You can see that very clearly in this attitude of Hussein Salamullah towards the end of his ordeal on the day of Ashura. So thanksgiving to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a state in which we say, O Lord, this world was a place of experience for me. You have been merciful enough to give me the cross section of experiences. You gave me the experience of love, but at the same time, you did not deny me the experience of facing somebody else's hatred. You gave me a family upon whom I learned to bestow lavishly and to share whatever you gave me. And you gave me bitter enemies whom I learned to love and to forgive and to seek your forgiveness. And then we see that this life is a moment's life, life of a moment. And in that moment, we were never supposed to be involved so fully to the extent that it makes us or breaks us. It's a moment's life. We are done and we are gone. We are on our way, journeying onwards. Who wouldn't want to meet Allah and say to Allah, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity of life. It's a huge thing that we go to Allah and we say, Allah, thank you. Now Allah says, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Whereas in Allah ma'as sabirin, Allah is with those who persevere. The more you persevere, the more your chest will be expanded, and the more passivity you attain, the more receptivity you will get. But in shukr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you are thankful, I will give you much, much more. What does that mean? What is there to be attained anyway? Oh Allah, thank you for the wealth, so Allah gives me more wealth. That is not attaining anything, is it? Because I'm going to die anyway. And even if it gives me the kingdom of Sulaiman, I'm confined in a body and a mass. I can't even enjoy this world, even if he were to give me the whole of this world. So the only thing that is to be given is a share of God Himself. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you were to thank me, I will give you more. More what? More of what really matters and what I'm here to gain. More of the light of God, more godliness. So now it has to be said, as a part of this talk, that, well, what is thanking in physical terms? Thanksgiving in physical terms means to utilize God's gift in the most appropriate manner. So when God decided to bestow upon Adam so unrestrictedly, Iblis said, and look at the Quran carefully, God calls him Iblis, and after his insubordination, he calls him Shaitan. They are two different things, yeah? Just to make that clarity, and at some point we can maybe discuss it thoroughly. Iblis says to God, have you seen this one that you have bestowed upon so lavishly? After I have finished with him and his progeny, you will find that majority of them are not grateful to you for what you have endowed them with. What is the meaning of being grateful? Best utility of what God has given to us. So everything that God has given to us, if it is utilized in an optimal way, then that is a form of thanksgiving. So it can be something as mundane as having food, not wasting it and eating it properly, or it can go a step further for us to share it with others. Health, to not to utilize it in the disobedience of God.